Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Buckley. Welcome to Stuff of Love. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're new, welcome. And if you've listened to my channel or watched my channel before, welcome back. And today I'm excited to be talking about some things that anybody can do. Whether you are cultivating a new relationship or you've been in a long-term relationship, there are things that you can do to keep the relationship loving, strong, and fun. If this sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button and press a like while you're at it. I always appreciate that. So what I'm talking about are rituals. Now, what are rituals? Rituals are things that we do daily, weekly, monthly, sometimes yearly. But I'm going to be talking mostly about daily things that we can do, but things that we can count on that work. So I always talk about being intentional in our relationships. Most of the time, once we have either landed somebody or we're in a relationship for a while, we got to take that person or the relationship for granted and maybe stop doing the things that we used to do. So establishing rituals that you know can work is really important. It's important in life. It's important for your profession, for your financial success, for your fitness, and definitely in your relationships. Now, some people talk about routines. When I think of a routine, I don't know, it's kind of like, it sounds a little boring to me. You know, it's like this routine. Routine for me oftentimes equals a rut. But rituals are something that can be exciting, that sound like fun, that we really just put into our life and on our calendars, and things that we really learn to do. It's almost like establishing new habits, but we do them on a regular basis. We can count on them and we can look forward to them. Sometimes getting them going can be a bit tricky, but I'm going to give you some ideas. And if you just pick one or two of these things, you really will notice a difference over time. You know, it doesn't happen instantly, but really not a long time, maybe a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and you will already start to feel better in your relationship. Now, I do have some videos about sex dates and play dates. Many of my clients will establish weekly sex dates or weekly play dates, and those are definitely rituals, and they're fun things to do. Another thing you can do as far as a ritual goes, maybe weekly, is something like Margarita Mondays or Wine Wednesdays. And of course, it doesn't always have to include alcohol. Electronics-free Thursday. So when you have these rituals that you can count on, and again, it becomes a habit, it could be breakfast in bed every Sunday or pancakes every Sunday. So things you can look forward to, they feel good, and they really do help cultivate a loving and a satisfying relationship. So those are some weekly things or monthly things. Let's talk about daily things, things that you can incorporate and start to do on an automatic basis that don't take much time at all, but they make so much difference. So one daily ritual that you can do is you can make coffee for your partner every morning, or you can drink your coffee together while sitting outside, or when you're having dinner, you light a candle. I know in my own relationship, we would light a candle every night at dinner. Didn't matter if it was daylight, it didn't matter what was going on, what we were eating, but we always lit a candle and put on some music. That was a ritual, and it felt really nice. It's just that extra little effort that makes the difference. And you're letting your partner know, you are important to me, our relationship is important to me, and I'm willing to put in this extra bit of effort. And it really is a bit of effort. It doesn't take much time. One ritual that I really encourage pretty much all of my clients to do is to be really mindful of the greetings, the hellos and the goodbyes. When you wake up in the morning, when you say goodbye for the day, when you say hello when you haven't seen each other during the day, or when you say goodnight. Taking that extra time to give your partner a hug, a kiss, to really let them know that you are going to miss them or that you're happy to see them makes such a huge difference. You know, sometimes we are busy and so our partner walks in or we walk in and maybe we're cooking dinner or watching TV or taking care of the kids. Legitimate things. But when we can stop and make sure that we acknowledge our partner with a hug and a kiss, makes all the difference in the world. Same thing when we go to bed, when we wake up. And those things that we generally don't do on a regular basis, when we make it a ritual, when we make it a habit, it really does change our relationship. It feels good. We're feeling loved. We're feeling heard. We're acting loving. And I think acting loving is just as important as feeling loved. And the greetings is a very simple way to do that. Another daily ritual you can incorporate into your life, which a lot of people do, are meals. So dinner, you could cook dinner together. So maybe one person cooks and the other person hangs out with them. Or after dinner, you go sit alone together, whether you have kids or not, and you have a little conversation, or you drink some wine or some tea before you go to bed. These simple little things. Now, a lot of people have television rituals, right? Maybe they watch a certain show on a certain night of the week. Having a TV show to watch on a daily basis, probably not a ritual that is actually nourishing or feeding your relationship in a positive way. So we have to make sure that we're intentional. What are the things that are going to show my partner that I love them? And a ritual that I think is important that isn't necessarily something that you do as opposed to how you think about something, again, it's being intentional, is when you wake up in the morning, when you say to yourself, what can I do today to show my partner that I love them? That's it. At the end of the night, you can ask yourself, what did I do today that I showed my partner that I love them? Now, you have two people doing this in a relationship. I will tell you, it can really impact a relationship in such a powerful way. And again, it doesn't necessarily take a lot of time. Another ritual that I love that a lot of people do is when they go to the grocery market, whoever's going to the grocery market, they just pick up a little something special. Maybe it's the same thing every single time. Maybe they know that their partner loves peaches, so they always buy them peaches. Or they know they love a certain type of chocolate bar, and they buy that chocolate bar whenever they go to the market. Hey, I'm thinking about you, and this is something that I want to give to you. It is a loving gesture. And rituals can be loving gestures. They can be things that are important to the relationship. Maybe it is a checking in with a 10-minute talk about how the partner's day was and sharing how your day was. A lot of couples and families will add like highs and lows into their repertoire of what they do maybe during a meal. What was the best part of your day? What was the worst part of your day? These are fun things to share. Of course, there's games. Now that's more like a weekly ritual, but a game night. So weekly rituals are something that happen maybe on a regular basis, sometimes more sporadically, but they're kind of fun. You know, Taco Tuesdays, again, Margarita Mondays, things that you know that you're going to do. Game night on Friday, or you go out on Saturday. The things that you, again, really do on a regular basis. You can count on it. They're intentional, and they are created to feed your relationship. Basically, they give meaning to your relationship and to these loving gestures. And it doesn't take time. That's the amazing thing. These seemingly small gestures are huge when it comes to having a loving relationship. And a lot of relationships end because we're not feeling loved, we're not feeling heard, we're not feeling understood, we drift apart. And why does that happen? Because we stopped doing these loving things, stopped making loving gestures. We didn't know what we can count on. And that's why the rituals are so important. And I hope by watching this video, you can think of some of your own or take some of the suggestions I made. And of course, I would love to hear yours. If you have any wonderful rituals that you just thought of or that you have actually been doing, please put it below. I want to see it. I think everybody else would like to see it. We can get ideas all over the place. One really fun one that I heard the other day from a client of mine, because I've talked about sexual signals, and there's a video about that right here. Sexual signals are important. How do we know when our partner wants to have sex? Well, they established a ritual where they have little dolls by their sink, by their toothpaste or toothbrush, and when they're brushing their teeth, if they want to have sex that night or they're feeling maybe a little amorous, they will put those dolls by their toothbrush. And they know if the doll is by the toothbrush, that's a sign. It's a signal saying, hey, I'm wanting you. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have full-on sex, but it does mean, hey, I'm in the mood for something kind of sexy and something loving. Another ritual that's really fun that a lot of people do is they put little notes on the mirror, or they put little notes in the person's pocket or in their purse or in their jacket so they can find them. Or a daily text. Daily text can be a loving ritual. Make sure to send your partner a text every day, letting them know that you're thinking about them. How do you think that would impact your relationship? Let me know, put it below. I want to read it. And again, I always do appreciate you watching the channel. And if this has been helpful and you're liking what you're seeing, please hit that like button, give it a subscribe, and I will see you next week. Thank you.